Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially healthcare. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
Listen, all you New Yorkers.
Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And good and bad at tonight's State of the Union. A masterful address from President Trump, a despicable display from Democrats. Who does Ilhan Omar think she is? For some perspective, when someone a few years ago yelled at Obama during his State of the Union address, "You lie," if you recall, it was the end of the world. You interrupted the President of the United States of America. Well, squad members Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, they ended up leaving the House chamber after repeatedly heckling President Trump during his address for about an hour and a half. And the president, at one point to Democrats, he said in front of their face, and I say, bravo, Mr. President, he said, quote, "These people are crazy. I'm telling you, they are crazy." This is Ilhan Omar, right? This went on nonstop. The congresswoman from Minnesota, who's under investigation, and we'll get to her finances a bit later, but screaming at the top of her lungs, "You killed Americans."
Standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Again, at one point, the president looking to his right side. You know how, depending on the party of the president, one side stands up every couple of seconds, the other side sits on their hands. This year, it was worse than ever, even for the Democrats that happened to be there. Now, here's one of the reasons why I say it was masterful by President Trump. He walks in, he addresses Democrats, he addresses Republicans, shaking hands as he's walking in. He sees the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. They're all lined up, the four that were present. He shakes each of their hands. The cameras were locked on a live shot, thinking that Trump was going to do something, anything to disrespect Chief Justice Roberts, and that would have been the headline. But that's not what the president did. He shook his hand. He shook the four that were present, their hands, three or four, and then went on to deliver his speech. Another reason, and Dominic Carter here with you, 800-848-9222. Another reason why I say it was masterful what the president did is he exposed Democrats literally as the party of criminals. You may recall Charlotte, North Carolina, the woman stabbed on the train. Her life ended on that commuter rail train by a career criminal. She had escaped war in Ukraine. And all of a sudden, poof, the story just disappeared. The president at his State of the Union had her mother present. The president showing that he's not forgetting citizens, even though she was from Ukraine, but people that are injured and hurt and murdered in America.
We'll be joined tonight by a woman who's been through hell, Anya Zaretska. In 2022, she and her beautiful daughter, so beautiful, what a beautiful young woman, Irina, fled war-torn Ukraine to live with relatives near Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, what's going on with Charlotte? Last summer, 23-year-old Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. No one will ever forget. There were people on that train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly. She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal set free to kill in America. Came in through open borders. Mrs. Zaretska, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina. How do you not stand? How do you not stand?
Again, the president making that comment, the end of it, in reference to Democrats. How do you not stand, considering the mother is there and her daughter was literally killed, stabbed to death in her neck on that rail train in Charlotte, North Carolina. The president delivering a masterful State of the Union address, the longest in history.
Rural Americans deserve access to the best our nation has to offer, especially when it comes to health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families' health. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.